Hi David, thanks for the footage, hope you're well. Swing's looking good, much improved on when we first got together. Just a quick overview of what I'm seeing at this moment in time. Setup wise is looking really good. I think from face on I've moved the handle forward on both bits of footage. So if I take you down with the 7-iron, I'd have the handle more in this position, shaft leaning a little bit more forward. And again, if we take you down with the 3-wood, ball forward's fine, but I'd still like to see that shaft leaning a little bit more into this position in order to get a better angle on the club face, and also help shallow that angle of attack out a little bit. Now then, if we look at it from down the line, first of all, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see the club work in more. You can see that that club stays on the target line for a little bit too long, and as a result there tends to be a little bit of a lift into the top where we lose the pressure points between the arm and the rib cage. So I'd certainly like to see the club working in and around you more still. You can see there with the 3-wood it's more severely, it's actually outside the line at that point. And again, at the top, we get a little bit across the line, a little bit long. So I'd like to maybe tie the arms down a little bit more. But initially, let's try just working that club back a little bit more in. So think in terms of bringing the club more in this direction. More importantly, get the arms and the hand path working in more. Now usually this can be regulated by working the left shoulder down and across, but I think initially if we just concentrate on arms in as a key thought, that's going to flatten everything out and get everything a little bit more on the inside and a little bit more around the body. Another good exercise for that is to pop some T-pegs just between your chest and your bicep area, sort of in between this point here and here, and try and keep that T-peg in. That's going to encourage a little bit more of a flatter arm swing and also encourage the arms to ride on the rib cage a little bit more. Good thought maybe just from setup, just that the arms are going for a ride, so that we're doing absolutely nothing with the arms, we're just going to turn the body. But the key thing is, like I say, we've got to get the club and the arms working in more on the backswing. Then when we look at it again from down the line, both with an iron and the 3-wood, we see that from the top the head's going to drift off the wall, the hips are going to move in from that line, so we've got a bit of an early extension going on. Again, a little bit of an early extension, more pronounced with the wood. You can see there the hips moving in towards the ball, the head drifting away from the wall. Whenever that happens, the plane of the club is shifted underneath, and we've got to then release quite hard to get that ball to come back. So we need to return to forward flexion more at that point. So even though it is a better version of what I saw when you came over to Preston, what I'm still seeing is that head moving off the wall. So we need to work on stabilising that so that we can return to forward flexion better. If we look at this position here and compare that to the inclination that you had at address, you can see there's a standing up. Now the standing up is a desirable move, but we have to offset it and we have to do it at the correct point. We're standing up very early, whereas what we should actually be doing now is returning back to forward flexion, then standing up and using the ground to generate some power. Whenever we see a player early extend, what we also see from face on is the player move back and up as he's coming through the impact area. Back and up. As you move back and up, the club runs the risk of hitting the ground behind the ball. You're also running the risk of the club head, or the actual club head will pass the hands, and whenever the club head passes the hands, the angle of attack tends to be a little bit too steep and you're going to go digging for that golf ball. So standing that move back is something that we don't want. So again, we need to stabilise that head position. We're moving forward nicely It's just that we need to return to forward flexion a little bit earlier, which would prevent us getting this very steep angle on the shoulders here. And throwing the angles away. You can see there that the left wrist just throwing the angle away as you're coming in, just in order to reach the ball, because we're falling back and hanging back on it. So we've got to throw that club to reach the ball. Right arm runs out too quick as we fall back. So what we're looking to achieve Sorry about this. I'll get with you in a second or two. Is from the top down the line, from the top of the backswing to waist level, we want to return to forward flexion. Then we use the standing up move to generate power. So this move needs working on here. You can see as he makes that move, there's not as much drift away from the wall with the backside and the hips. So everything's a little bit more stable. So his return back to his forward flex before extending in the through swing. When a player returns to forward flexion, what we see from face on, forward flex, returning to forward flex, we see the shoulders are tilted back just a little bit rather than a lot, and the angles created here are maintained for longer. So we've got to get the arms in, and we've got to work the spine in the correct sequence. If you want a little bit more detail on the way the spine's working and having it broken down, I posted a video on YouTube about 2 weeks ago on spine movements. It's down the right hand side on the channel. Well worth a look. 4 split screens above and below, with myself demonstrating the swing, and then also what's going on with the spine at certain positions within the swing. Well worth a look. Overall, coming on, just need to get everything more in on the way back, and then we need to stabilise that head on the way down. So we've got to work the spine in the correct sequence. Good luck with it, and I look forward to hearing more feedback and hopefully some more good results. Well done.